Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. This one. Yes. Alright. What's up, what's up? We are in the MapleStory Classic World Beta. So it took a little bit for me to get around to actually logging in, which I know is probably a little bit of blasphemy after we've all been looking forward to it for so long. But this is one change that was already revealed. You can set up shops anywhere you want now. I think you're allowed to set up shops in spaces with monsters. But back in the day, the shops got so obtrusive that they created the free market and made it so you could only put shops in there. But then the free market just also became this weird real estate game where people weren't really using it to sell stuff. They were selling the spots to each other, and only the first 4-ish spots that were closest to the entrance actually mattered. So being able to set your shop up in a hub like that maybe also lets you curate your clientele a little bit more, which is really interesting. I have no idea how this person passed away. Oh, probably climbing to the very top and then jumping down. A lot of people, a lot of AFK ghosts I've been noticing. So I've got a few quests to do. As you all know, I'm a very quest-motivated player. Down jumping. Oh god, I can't even flinch these. I need to kill orange mushrooms and ribbon pigs. And so in order to do that... Okay, that's weird. Oh, I see. They make it so the windows automatically fade a little bit, so if you open up a window while you're around monsters, you can still see. Interesting. I want to turn that feature off. It's probably useful, but not something I actually care about. I want to go back towards Henesys, actually, so I need to exit the other way through Kerning. You get a bunch of free leaf points, which are like NX, but I think it's, for legal purposes, they have to be distinct. Where NX that you receive for free is leaf points to buy stuff from the shop. That's how I have these cool jeans, and I got my crazy hairstyle. Not all of the hairstyles and whatnot are available in the game, of course. And for Classic World, they give you a lot more options for your starting hair color. So, that's a pretty good thing. I think back in the day it was like blonde, black, and I think the orange hair, and maybe brown. I think were like the 4 colors you could choose from. That sound effect we heard just now, I don't know what that is. Maybe it was the sound of a scroll working? Didn't sound quite right, though. The invisible hat is also not in the shop. Everybody's got the classic white beanie. It's pretty cool, too. I saw a Levany in a Henesys. But in terms of my first impressions, you know, playing on Maple Island, I certainly, first and foremost, have noticed the increased... Oh, I guess I do need to clear stumps. I guess I can fight here a little bit, too. Because in order to get back to where all of the ribbon pigs and stuff are, I have to go through the Elf Forest, which is quite a journey on foot. I'm only level 10, so we went and became a rogue. And I guess there's an NPC you talk to that teleports you here automatically, which I didn't realize. I just walked over here. I appreciate the increased movement speed. One interesting thing I did notice when I was on Maple Island was that it seemed like the attack range of the starting hand axe was nerfed. I don't know if it was just a timing thing, like if it's actually a skill issue, but it definitely felt like my range wasn't as long as it should have been using the axe. or if it's just a thing with the weapon where the hitbox doesn't actually line up with the visual, which is kind of cringe. And when I hit level 10, I got 1 skill point to put into double stab, which I think is the classic. And I did see a notification as well that somebody had hit level 50. I believe you get some sort of extra bonus for hitting level 50. I know that there's a exclusive thing you get for hitting level 15. You'll see a lot of the people running around that have like a fancy name, and that's a special thing you get from hitting level 15. So that is one goal I want to try before the Classic World Beta is over. Notably, I wish I could turn off the quest helper, the little pop-up. It's a nice reminder when you're grinding. Hang on, is that something that I can turn off? I want to turn off UI fade. Up here, I turned off auto alarm, but I guess I have to, like, yeah, there's no, I just have to close the quest helper, maybe, to turn that off. I never considered myself that much of a purist, but I don't need to be reminded. Yeah, look, the tree branches. Do I go in the quest menu? Is there, like, something I can... I don't know. I feel that they should add as many customization options as players would like for that sort of thing. It also does look a little bit strange that the UI isn't covering the whole bottom of the screen. But if I were to maybe play in window mode and crop it like I've done in the past with other versions, could get some of that classic feel. But this is just a way to scale the UI so it works with modern monitors and yada yada. There's probably some people who have it set to 4:3 because that's just what they're used to. Wait, did I ever get the... And I don't mind, you know, checking my own inventory. No, I still need one more. I need one more branch. And that's the thing. I don't mind checking my own numbers to make sure that I got everything, rather than having a reminder. It's a nice convenient thing, I suppose. But as soon as I pick up the branch, it's going to tell me that the quest is complete. So it's redundant to have that text pop up of, oh, you've got 19 out of 20. I guess it's a little bit of extra motivation where you're more cognizant of how close you're getting to your goal. So I have to kill pigs and ribbon pigs, I do believe. Ribbon pigs, pigs, leather. Okay, cool. And orange mushrooms. Many murdered by double blizzard. Yo, what's up, Crossman? Oh man, you're running a Blizzard team in Champions? Do they just think they're gonna outspeed, or? Oh, you are. So I noticed that they increased the effects of the blue and red potions. This used to be 50 and 100 MP respectively, which is really interesting. I don't believe the prices have changed, so that's going to be very, very helpful for new players. This is my second pig's head. I don't know if they've changed the rarity on those at all. One of the early quests makes you find one pig's head, which is utterly ridiculous if they haven't changed the rarity. But when I was doing all the quests on Maple Island, all the classic tutorial quests are there. It definitely felt like there should be like 2 or 3 more quests on Maple Island. And by the time I was done going to Lith Harbor, I was only level 8. And in versions of MapleStory I remember playing, once you complete all the quests on Maple Island, you get a free pass to ride the boat from Maple Island to Victoria Island. But, and just so you know, the starting area of the tutorial is called Maple Island, but the main continent is Victoria Island. I didn't get a free pass, and I don't know if I missed it, or if there was something I was supposed to trigger, or what. So I paid 300 mesos, which I was like, oh, that's crazy. Because, let me tell you, the quests rewards are still kind of ass. As I said, potions are basically worth double what they used to be. So getting potions as a reward from quests is a lot more desirable than it was in the past. But I would finish a quest and it would give me like 3 potions or 5 potions. I haven't bought any potions yet, but look, I'm broke. I have less than 1,000 mesos in my inventory. I think I bought like 5 red potions now that I think about it. I've got the regeneration spell, Recovery, which has been improved a little bit. 2-minute cooldown, you get 75 HP, 72 HP. So every 2 minutes, it's a free potion-ish. Which isn't too bad. Blue potions being doubled is actually huge. I haven't been to Alinea yet, so I don't know if they kept the Alinea discount, where the blue potions cost 198. I already said that I can feel the increased base movement speed. So that does help a lot for just going from A to B. Being able to train a little bit. You know, it makes... If you're playing Warrior or something that doesn't actually have a haste or a teleport, any sort of movement ability, kind of makes that disparity not as wide, which is totally fine. I do need to be a little bit frugal with my double stabs. The crit chance has also been really interesting to just kind of see pop up here and there. It's very satisfying that every class gets crit chance base now. Oops. Trying to make my pilgrimage to Pig Beach. What else did I want to talk about? Oh god, I can't hit those. Yeesh. Yeah, so I definitely need to get some potions. I don't even have equipment, by the way. Like, I got a weapon for free. This dagger, this Zamadar, but that's it. So we are entering extremely classic eras of broke noob, where you can't even afford your level 10 equipment. The leveling seems fine though, you know. I gotta remember to keep hitting my recovery skill off cooldown. I don't like the sound effect they used for it, though. There's probably some really, really efficient enemy that I can find. Pig Beach is, here it is. Yeah. Oh man, this place is infested. This is good. Looks like there's plenty for everybody to go around. I was worried that this place would be even more crowded. But I'm not really up for hard grinding at Pig Beach yet. Only 8 potions in my pocket. If you want to leave, you have to go all the way around like this in order to leave. I'll use my last 8 potions to fight on this platform. And, oh, that's the other thing I definitely noticed, is your invincibility frames after getting hit is way shorter. So that's also going to be a huge tax on power leveling. Whew, that was close. I didn't want to get knocked down. And in MapleStory, there are certain maps that are just really, really densely populated. You just dive into a big pile of monsters and just mash on your damage. And mash on your potions. But if you have less invincibility frames, you're going to be taking more damage. So that's really bad, to be honest. The noobs are really going to be feeling it. I don't imagine the quest rewards are actually set in stone. But I wish the beginner quests would be a little bit more generous to get us set up with potions and stuff in Mesos. Not necessarily Mesos, because even if they give you Mesos, beginner's not necessarily going to spend them on the best gear or the more efficient equips. Generally speaking, in the early game, having a little bit of extra weapon defense and stuff doesn't really matter. It's best to just spend your Mesos on the best weapon you can afford, and then potions. There probably is some, like, calculation of what the best break point is, where you want to have at least X defense against certain monsters so you aren't getting one-shot. But generally in MapleStory, if a monster is strong enough to one-shot you, you probably aren't high enough level to even hit the monster in the first place. So again, it becomes a moot point. The stuff that you're training on generally is not going to matter. Oops, I did it again. Do I have to take a long jump to try to reach that rope? I guess I have to go all the way up to the top and then jump and then fall down. The maps seem to be very densely populated too with monsters, which is nice. I'm not exactly sure how they calculate that either, where if it's a function of players that are logged in, a function of players that are on the map or on nearby maps. Even if I'm the only person that's passing through a particular screen at any given time, it feels like there's a lot of monsters to still fight. Ah, the Hnesis Hunting Grounds. Classic. That was the new guard effect. The sound effect for it is a little shrill. I think what it is that it doesn't have the... In MapleStory, it's very subtle, where if somebody is far away from you, their sound effects that originate from them are a little bit quieter, and it seems like guarding doesn't have that scaling. So it'll be way on the other side of the map, somebody will guard something, and it's like this very loud metallic sound. But I wanted to come here to buy potions, and so that I could be closer to clearing these quests. I can turn in the Vicious quest, and I do still need to fight some more ribbon pigs. So we'll go this way. Oh, hang on. I can accept the Bruce quest. Inkwell, Blessing of Wind, Haste. We got the buff icon here in the top right. Speed plus 30, jump plus 10. Nice. You super early. You must have something to do later. Yeah, we got another hockey game. Ooh, Zackham. Sick getting that name. So I'll be streaming probably until like 5-ish. But I figured that I might as well get set up a little bit early, put some time into MapleStory Classic World. Turn in Vicious. Yeah, look, just XP for this quest. No Mesos. This is a new thing that they've added to Classic World, is this crafting. I recognize you as a carpenter. I've added a few woodworking skills to your crafting journal, so please take a look. I've seen arrows drop from enemies, which is new-ish. So I can make arrows. This is interesting. Making your own materials. Before, you would talk to the NPC, give them the materials, and pay some Mesos, and then make it yourself. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here waiting on the next Worlds Beyond set on the 28th. Smithing. Silas Irons and Perion. So they changed his name, right? Mr. Thunder is for weapon crafting. Francois. In Alinea. Vicious. In Hanesis for wood crafting. JM from the Streets for leatherworking. And Krishrama and Sleepywood is arc forging. I don't know what arc forging is. So we do have to spend Mesos in order to make our own materials. It said that we have to go to use the woodworking station if we want to do wood crafting, so that's going to be a bit of a pain having to travel all the way back here in order to do woodworking. I suppose it's the same difference because you would also have to travel back here to talk to Vicious anyway to get processed wood or whatever. But I just don't have Mesos to spend on any of that right now. Oops. So I definitely want to buy some potions. So look here. The blue potions are a little bit more expensive, which makes sense because they're double the efficacy. I can sell the fruit knife, so that helps. The etc. tab, also going to be a lot of stuff that we can sell. I wish the arrows would sell. That's unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, they drop from enemies now, so it's weird that you can't sell them for anything. I guess you sell them to other players. But that's only if everybody gets a shop for free. You do in Classic World Beta, but there's not, of course, not really a point on selling stuff, since everything's going to be wiped. But anyway, in terms of healing potions, how many can we even afford? So it's 1,000 mesos for 20. Yeah. I'm just going to spend what I have. And then we'll get back to grinding. We can turn in a quest to Jam from the Streets. And we actually just need to find some shrooms and orange mushrooms, which we can do at the Hnesis hunting grounds. The Inkwell's buff with Nimble Feet is actually quite nice. I don't like the numbers that they use for the countdown. It also shows up in the bottom right on the UI. Hopefully when the beta drops, they'll have more NX items to choose from, because everybody's just wearing the white beanie. It's too OP compared to everything else. I'm going to have to... I don't know if they sell them in Kerning. I might need to go back to Lith Harbor and buy, like, the black headband to go with the fit. There's a quest on Maple Island where you get a random hat, and I got the green headband, which doesn't do anything. Oh, God. I have too much jump. It's hard to get to line myself up. We got to use our basic attack. We got to save Mesos for stronger enemies. Party invite? Let's do it. Get that double XP cooking. 5? The party... Yeah, parties cap out at 6. Let's go. We also get credit for their kills for our quest. Hang on. Okay. They're just finalizing our timeline in group chat. So they're going to be here to pick us up at 4:30. So I've got a couple hours to do some good old classic maple grinding. My goal is, honestly, if everybody here is power leveling, I might just stay and grind and try to hit level 15. With the XP buff and everybody slaying. Level 15 to get the exclusive cosmetic. You see the nameplate, I guess is what you would call it, that everybody has. That's the one you get for hitting at least level 15. An important thing you need to do in these sorts of maps is if you slay a bunch of monsters in the upper levels, the monsters will spawn on the lower levels, and you have to thin them out. so that they keep spawning near the top. It's also really funny, too, because everybody got free leaf points to buy cosmetics. And in my brain, only high-level players buy cosmetics. So I think that everybody's like giga high level, but they're not. I am, again, still very curious about the crafting. Especially because there's, like, levels to it. It's a more traditional MMO system. It's not... Of course, it's not very authentic to OG MapleStory, but it gives you an additional thing to grind for. And it does create a nice secondary economy, right? For people to sell materials and for people to craft things and sell them to other players. There's always been pseudo-economies of that nature. Think of Onyx apples, if you're familiar. It's a really powerful buff item. But you couldn't, like, craft them. It was a reward from doing PQs. So you do the PQs to get the Onyx apples, and then people would buy the Onyx apples so they'd be stronger for their PQs, and then the cycle continues. But I am very curious about how crafting materials are going to go, because I remember ores being a really big pain in the ass to get. And if crafting becomes really high-level efficiency, then that also drives up the price of ores, which is both good and bad. Some things will get cheaper, some things will get more expensive. You know what I mean? Because, as I said, you would always go to the NPC jam from the streets in Vicious to craft arrows, process wood, screws, work gloves for quests. Work gloves was the big one. And so you could sell leather, and you could sell clean work gloves. Buying fame, 5k, get your potion money? Oh, thank God. I'm gonna fame him first because he's a real one. And then they tax that transaction. Bruh, that's what I needed. Okay, I take it back. The trick to not being broke in MapleStory is to sell fame. Yo, the blue buzz cut looks sick. Can I hit these? I know I can't hit those yet. I don't know why I'm trying. Just make money. I mean, I could have gotten scammed right there because I famed first. And you only get one fame per day, by the way. So that's high risk, high reward is what we call that. Just make money. It is true. It's legit. Wipe soon, so be generous. Is the wipe today or is the wipe tomorrow? I think the wipe is on the 23rd, so I think we just have today. I didn't get any chance to really put time into this the way I wanted to. Like I said, my other email I didn't have access to right away. I had to like remember how to log into it to check that I even got the email. And when I first logged in, I didn't see the email, so I thought I didn't get picked. And it's funny because when I went to go check my main email, it pulled up the other one because I never actually logged out of it. And then when I essentially accidentally looked at it again, I saw that I did in fact have the email. I was like, oh shit. But I also have another story to tell, which I haven't mentioned yet. I had a dentist appointment on Monday. Heidi had her appointment, and when she was at her appointment, she made me one. Because I've been very hesitant to actually make a dentist appointment. So I went, and I was under the impression that it was just going to be like an initial consultation. They were going to do x-rays and just kind of see what was going on in there. But I actually had a broken tooth for a while. Oh, rip. Oh. Oh, I didn't realize you get the nameplate at 10. I thought you got both at 15. How do you claim it? Is it just in my inventory already and I never noticed? Hang on, let me scroll up in chat. They were talking about it. The chat ring from Arwen the Fairy. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time is the wipe, they're saying. So it's Arwen the Fairy. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna keep grinding. Let's go, level 12. Hello, Scar. Allow me to give you an internet hug. Oh, welcome in, Wyatt. Welcome. What I was going to say is I went to the dentist, and, you know, they did the initial, like, look and everything, and they didn't find anything too bad, but the cracked tooth that I had in the back, fortunately, it's been like that for a while, but it didn't hurt. None of the damage or anything made it to the root, so I was very fortunate to just be able to let that sit for however long it's been. I don't even remember. But yeah, essentially, I knew about that tooth, obviously, and I was, like, wondering what they were going to say about it. I feel like we've got solid coverage on this map. But I keep getting distracted. To finish my story, I was figuring that they would maybe schedule me an appointment to come and get it, you know, get a filling or however to have it dealt with. And the dentist was just like, actually, we can just take it out right now if you've got time. And I was like, really? How long would that take? And they were like, you know, like 30 minutes. I was like, okay. So they came and numbed me up. I apologize to anybody in advance who maybe doesn't want to hear about a dentist story. I know that that can be pretty terrifying for some people. Because I was explaining to them I've never been to the dentist since I was a child, right? So I thought it was going to be, I thought they were really going to rake me over the coals, but apparently my teeth aren't that bad. I'm still trying to figure out how to having no expectations or desire to be better or anything is actually making me better at games. It's weird. Well, that's just, you're just not putting less pressure on yourself. It's actually a really good mindset. Kind of detaching yourself from the need to be better. And just performing at your level. But anyway, yeah. I've never had any dental procedures done, so having a tooth extracted was extremely bizarre, to say the least. They numbed me up well. I didn't feel a thing. It didn't hurt at all whatsoever. But, like, the weird pressure of it was incredibly bizarre. Now, I didn't realize as well as that back tooth that they took out was one of my wisdom teeth. Because I know that people will have impacted wisdom teeth where they kind of come in sideways. And so they need to be extracted. But that one, you know, had grown in normally. And that's why I never realized it was a wisdom tooth. Other than the fact that it's just way in the back there, I guess. Failed your wisdom save? Yeah, pretty much. It was actually a good thing. Like I said, that tooth was... There is no saving it. Like, that's for sure. I'm just happy that in the meantime, I didn't get, like, a crazy toothache and had to get it emergency extracted. And that it lined up to when I actually had dental insurance to cover some of the costs of the procedure. I need an F. Do I have it? Whenever they give Maplers letters like that for some sort of event, they always have to be very careful about what letters they give us. They're doing some shenanigans up there. It's just a special thing they were doing where the certain monsters of a certain level range drop the letters, and then if you grab the letters to spell out leaf points, I guess you get more leaf points. Or maybe they carry over beyond the wipe or something. That'd be kind of cool. When Classic World drops, I won't mind buying a little bit of NX to get a hairstyle at least. Because hairstyles are permanent. Like, if they don't have perma like outfits and stuff in the shop when Classic World drops, I'm not going to buy anything. You know what I mean? I'll get the hairstyle, and then I'll just wear whatever equip for my class. But overall, it feels great. I think I was saying earlier that the hand axe I was using, it definitely felt like the hitbox for it was misaligned. It seemed like it wasn't lining up properly. But maybe I'm just subconsciously incredibly used to the dagger range. I haven't been whiffing my stabs on anything. I think they slightly increased dagger range. I know that for the PC Cafe tests, that was some feedback that they got, that people felt that the dagger range was way too short. Overall, I wasn't thinking that they would make changes to potions. That was a change that never crossed my mind at all. It seems like such a fundamental change, but it's for the better. To have red potions heal for more, have blue potions restore more. I think that's honestly a really good change. Honestly, I forgot how much the potion struggle really is. On every subsequent classic-like version, they do their best to smooth out that pain point. So I just completely forgot, if I'm honest. About how difficult it is to actually afford potions when quests and stuff aren't giving you a ton of Mesos and potions. I think every quest I've done has only given me experience and some weird odds and ends. I don't think I've gotten Mesos from a quest yet. A lot of versions I've played, they'll have one quest that you hit at like level 10 or around there that'll hit you with like 10,000 Mesos right off the bat to kind of give you a nice little starter nest egg to buy your potions, buy your equips for like your first level. Like level 10 equips to carry you to level 15 or level 20 when you want to buy your next set of equipment. And that feels pretty good, you know what I mean? I'm really impressed by how many people Ines's Hunting Grounds is able to sustain. Always pick up all the random etc. drops off the ground, by the way. Higher level players are sometimes players that don't care, or if their inventories are full, they're only caring about the... The blue fireball goes hard. This hairstyle is really underrated. I actually have a really nostalgic attachment to this hairstyle because in old school MapleStory there was a quest called Beauty and the Beast where you get a regular hairstyle coupon. Sorry, Scar, we're talking about disabled people problems. No, that's totally chill. The fact that both of you can, you know, just have a conversation amongst yourselves in chat is really great. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of the point, right? Like, this is just a nice little community where we can all, you know, shoot the shit about whatever. Why is he meowing? Yes, we've got some Mapled story going on. So, I had signed up for the Classic World beta. Yikes, green mushroom. Pog. I forgot to allocate my skill points. Oh my god, I've got so many skill points. We don't need Nimble Body. We're just putting everything into damage. Oh, one thing that I noticed as well, they didn't check if I had the minimum stats when I became a rogue in the first place. That's probably an oversight, but it might also be because I walked to Kerning for my job advancement as opposed to talking to an NPC. There's a quest here called Phil's Call in Lith Harbor where it says, let's head to the information broker Phil in Lith Harbor to learn more about job advancement. I'm wondering if because I skipped that quest by accident, because that quest becomes available at level 10, but because I was like level 9, I was just like, oh, I might as well start heading towards Kerning City now. And so I don't know if that allowed me to sidestep some weird check. But even the Dark Lord didn't say anything. I thought, because I spoke to him without intentionally allocating the points, because I was like, wait, is Rogue 20 or 25? I couldn't remember quite off the top of my head. It's 25, by the way. But I was like doubting myself in the moment. And I was like, let's see what they say when I don't have the proper allocation. And they just gave me the job advancement. And I had like 16 dexterity or something. Wait, did he get scammed? That's brutal. The collective trust of the Classic World has been already shattered. We had the opportunity to create something new and beautiful and special. It's already been broken. So surely that's an oversight. I also haven't checked the equipment in Kerning City to see if Thief equipment has a minimum on it. Or what that minimum is. Because without maple weapons in the game, Dexless is not the best build for Assassin. But people are going to go Dexless anyway, just out of tradition. But I'm wondering if there is some kind of weird oversight where you don't even need the minimum 25 dex anymore. I guess it only matters for the sake of accuracy. Because thieves already get Nimble Body, which just gives you accuracy and avoidability in a skill. They gave a similar thing to Warriors as well for Classic World, because Warriors have infamous problems hitting stuff. Oh, speaking of, no, I did allocate my ability points. Okay. I think the actual bonus XP buff may be a little bit exaggerated. I'm not sure. Maybe taken on the whole, it's probably a good rate boost. Yo, good power strikes there. The trip? R-I-P-I? Hippie? Rippy? Trippin'? I don't know why I got swear filtered there. This is, let me tell you, this is incredibly classic noob experience. I can almost hit these green mushrooms too. And I've got 3k Mesos alongside that 5k I got for faming Zachem. But I guess I heard that it's actually Zakum. I guess, or that might be like the Korean pronunciation. But I've always said Zachem. Let me know what you think, chat. It's always so funny because we all just read the words however we like. Like, apparently, the way I say Hnesis is weird. Or ligators in the Kerning swamp. Like, I get their alligators, and so it's just I can't say ligator. I don't know. That sounds worse to me than just ligator. Ligator sounds more badass. Oh boy, the gang's all here. Yeah, I can't mess with the top level right now. It feels like we can sustain maybe like a dozen people on this map. In the Classic World Beta, we have 2 channels as well. So you can also CC. I don't know how many channels we're going to end up with on the full release, or how many we'll need. They'll probably start with a very low number, like maybe 3 or 4. Probably less than that. And then just add them as we need them. Because at least for the purposes of the Classic World Beta, they did say that you have to do the KPQ in channel 1, but it's instanced now, so you can have as many parties doing it simultaneously. And I don't know if that's also going to be a permanent change, or if that's just for the sake of the Classic World Beta. Well, this isn't really a beta. This is just a closed online test. I guess it kind of is. We might get one more round of another maybe open online test, and then one more wipe before full release if I had to speculate. Because it's only been a few days, and there's players who are level 50, you know what I mean? Which we knew was going to happen. I don't know if they knew that was going to happen, but I knew that people were going to be pretty maxed out, even with just a few days. People have really optimized first and second job. And even right now at this moment, we were talking earlier, if you saw my party having a discussion if we wanted to change maps, because we aren't entirely sure that this map is even the most efficient what we're capable of right now. It's probably for the best because it's so dense, even if it's not like the most efficient monsters. Just because there's so many of them, I think it just kind of evens out. It comes out in the wash, as it were. Man, I wish I could fight those. And I'm scavenging, right? You can see me picking up all these snail shells and everything that people are leaving behind. There's gonna be a wipe, but I can sell these for potion money. It's so strange to have crossbow bolts drop like that and arrows and stuff when you can't sell them for anything. I gotta go get potions soon. I was broke earlier when I was at the potion shop, so I just invested in HP potions, but I gotta go buy mana potions. Oh, that's right. I can turn in the Bruce quest. Forgot about this quest. Ooh. Any return scrolls. Some potions, too. I have no idea how they managed to pull off getting, killed down there. That's impressive. As of right now, there's only the... Wait, I took the wrong ladder. There's only the Kerning and Hnessis hair salons. Okay, so... We also have these eggs, too, so I gotta use these up. Let's sell a good handful of these. I'm not sure how many of them I'll need in the future, but... Expanding inventory slots is also going to be a huge deal. Wow, 10,000 mesos. A lot of potions. So we'll grab 50 of these. I don't have enough mesos for 50 blue potions. Okay. We'll grab... Well, I guess I'm fucked then. I guess I'll grab 20. Brutal. Okay. 5k mesos in this economy? It is kind of cool that, the citrus fruit are for MP, and then, like, food is for HP. How's the cash shop offerings for Classic? Yo, what's up, Internal? Yeah, let me show this off, by the way. So, they've got the main page here. You can get pets and stuff. They gave everybody free leaf points, which are, you know, it works like NX, but is legally distinct from NX for purposes. So for weapons, they've only got like one page of everything. I've seen people using the wand a lot. The Cupid's crossbow. Dagger, wand, or staff. One-handed sword, axe, blunt weapon, wand, or staff. Picnic basket. A lot of the really iconic stuff. Yeah, they brought back the pillow. One-handed sword, axe, or blunt weapon. That's kind of weird. It sucks that you can't use the pillow for a dagger or a wand. They got the lollipop, though. Donut only goes over a claw. Interesting. For hats, they've got the white beanie, the slanted visor. I saw somebody with the upside down visor, I thought. I've seen the blue pajama hat people are using a lot. They do have some gender locked items like the picnic hat, which is kind of cringe. But yeah, I've seen the white beanie and the slime hat are like the most popular. Yeah, these are some old items. The white beanie is so classic. I'm surprised they don't have the snowboarder overall. That's another really classic one that I thought that they would bring back. Or the puffer vest top. The outfits, these are overalls, so you kind of get more bang for your buck. because it's a top and a bottom in one. Yeah, it's weird that they're like gender locking the dresses and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, everything, there's no scrolling. The Crusader t-shirt goes super hard, by the way. They have the white suit. I'm pretty sure there's a black suit. I think it's like black suit with a red shirt and a black tie. It's like the My Chemical Romance fit. I don't remember gender locked items from OG, but it's been so long. I think a few of the cash shop items were gender locked. It's just one of those things that has kind of fallen by the wayside. Because I know that they got rid of gender locking in a lot of like private servers, and I think in a lot of Classic World versions. There's actually some really good fits in the shop. It's just that there's not a lot of blue. The denim cargos, these are classic. I love these damn things. The slime slippers are also really, really, really nostalgic. Maybe I should get a top, huh? While I'm here. Complete the fit. Like, what? Like, this pink jacket? Like, this is legit. Come on. Nexon, you're holding out on me. Can't leave money on the table. There's no gloves in the shop. Just a few accessories. I got the Band-Aid, of course. Capes, they've got, like, the butterfly wings. Oh my god, everybody had the angel wings back in the day. Military cargo jacket. Honestly, this is a fit. The fierce face scars. You can have the little devil hovering by you. We gotta get the little devil. Yeah, I don't have the right skin tone for it. The yellow shades look pretty cool, though. But anyway. We came here to buy potions. Alright. Fit acquired. The slime slippers match my crazy green headband. I don't know what that means, release the keyless. Ooh. Oh, it's Inkwell. I'll take that. They don't let me click on him. Oh man, you can't even click on him. Oh man, that's crazy. Inkwell's the big boss, by the way. Inkwell says, I don't remember. Don't remember what? What shampoo do you use? Are you close to doing the first dungeon? No. Oh, the KP Cube. KP is, minimum level's like level 20, right? I'm trying to hit level 15. We're level 13 right now. Yes, invite Christ to the party. We welcome Christ into our party. What's at 15? At level 15, you get an exclusive cosmetic. You see how everybody has the maple leaf around their names with that purple nameplate? You get a special nameplate and a cosmetic that changes your chat bubble to be a different look as well. And those are exclusive closed online test rewards. But you have to be level 15, and I guess there's a quest you have to do in Alinea. When the Classic World beta started, there was a little, like, post about it where they were talking about, hey, check out the new crafting systems we added. Let us know what you think. And they said that KPQ will be instanced. That you have to be in channel 1 to do it, but as many parties as you want can do it all at the same time. I'm under the impression that this cosmetic will carry over as a thank you for people who get... I think they say it in the notes, that if you get at least level 15, then you get a little bonus. I'm super delayed, of course. Yeah, it was one party per channel for... I think it's still that way to this day. It's usually in, like, Classic World or other versions where they take away the one party per channel limit. And so there was a lot of speculation about whether they were going to do that. And I don't know if that's a direct confirmation that it's going to stay that way, or it's specifically for the closed online test that they would have to take the limiter away. It makes sense for the test, right? That they would remove that limit. But it maybe gives them a little... It's unfortunate because they didn't clarify in the notes that for the purposes of the test, we're going to remove the limit on Kerning Party Quest. You know what I mean? And then basically let us know ahead of time that the limit will return in some form in the future. Because now that the closed online test has happened with unlimited KPQ... Now that's what players are going to be expecting. They're kind of spoiled for it now. So it's going to be harder for them to make adjustments in the future. Because I made a YouTube video about it, kind of discussing why it's a bit of a problem. Glad you like the Caraway sketch. Oh yes, Crossman, you fiend. I haven't seen that much Caraway fan art, but the art I have seen has... She looks a lot better as not a 3D model. I don't know if we've seen any beta artwork for Caraway, like official art, you know what I mean? For Caraway, I haven't looked any up. Maybe I'm going to put a point in Nimble Body and see if it'll let me hit green mushrooms. It's always unlimited. If you had a speedrunner in your team who could sign you back up. Yeah, if you had an auto clicker. Those were the days. Nice! I can hit green mushrooms now. Not 100%, but we're almost there. Maybe I'll put another point in Nimble Body then. Yeah, I'll put 3 points in Nimble Body on this level. I feel like her 3D model is pulling her down because her design needs a more stylized model rather than a plain one. Yeah, because her design is really busy. So you have to stylize the posing and everything to emphasize certain parts and tone down others. Because there's nothing in her design that naturally draws your eye, so it looks like really messy and busy at first blush. Not that I mind having an over-the-top. That's something that Pokemon, I feel, has been doing in recent designs, is for certain characters, they give them a very over-the-top design. Right? Because Caraway is the boss of a battle arena, so she's very flashy. And, like, Ino as well has a very flashy design. But it's not... It doesn't feel as busy, even though it kind of is, with, like, the big pink and blue Magnemite she has in her hair. I remember when Ino was first revealed, people thought that those were actual Pokemon, but they're just accessories. That would be cool. Like I said, that's something I was wondering if they would do, if they would, like, have the characters change outfits per season. It's very rare that Pokemon has any outfit changes. It happens in between... It happens, like, between generations and stuff. And Pokemon Masters, the other mobile game, has, like, cool outfit changes for some iconic trainers. But I imagine not. Caraway doesn't seem to really be a major part of the game. Only, like, the initial story and setup. It would be cool. Because they did it was called the warm-up event, you know, where if you played at least 3 games, you got a Gardevoir. So if they did more in-game events like that, they could maybe theme them around different... They could flavor them as holiday or seasonal events, the way that you do in an MMO. You know what I mean? Like with spring and summer coming up, they do, like, the summer challenge. I'm not sure how crazy they would do it, but imagine, like, in the middle of the summer, they had an event where it's always harsh sunlight or something for battles as, like, a little event. And then, yeah, you get, like, swimsuit Caraway. Or, like, swimsuit cosmetics in the shop for your avatar. They wouldn't be like swimsuits, like not risque stuff. They'd be like wetsuits, which kind of goes more with the activewear aesthetic of the current offerings in the shop for character customization. So there'd be a bunch of cool, like, wetsuits, I think. That'd be a really good idea for an event. The balancing would be terrible if it was always harsh sunlight for summer, but it could be really funny. Once we'll have to see how long it takes them to add more trainer cosmetics. Because when you're first starting out, you transfer all your Pokemon from Pokemon Home, you have a lot of extra victory points to buy outfits. And, like, I even bought an outfit for my avatar because I settled on a team really quickly. But there was a lot of players and a lot of content creators that didn't really have an idea of what they wanted to play. They were just building stuff and seeing what they liked. They were copying teams from their favorite YouTubers. I had a theme, right? I had a roster of Pokemon that I kind of looked at initially, and then I just recruited the ones that happened to be offered to me, and they just so happened to become a team. Damn, we're already out of blue potions? Brother. I can't even use double stab anymore. Note to self, double stab is only for rich people. Yo, we out here leveling. I'm telling you right now, chat, if you're going to be playing MapleStory, you can't leave Mesos on the ground. You can't leave etc. items on the ground. That's free money. You're going to end up broke one day with no Mesos and no potions, and you're going to wish that you picked up all those Mesos off the ground. You thought that you were too good to pick up those Mesos, that copper coin. You were in a hurry to get back to Hnesis. So you just popped that monster with a one-hit skill and kept it moving, rather than waiting that little split second for the drop to actually land on the ground and pick it up. Yo, what's up, Skull Profeta? It's going good. The initial grind to get to level 10 was a little bit harder than I was expecting. The initial quests on Maple Island put me at like level 8. I was like, weird. So I got to Victoria Island, and there was like a couple starting quests in Lith Harbor to kill some slimes, and they gave like dog shit rewards. So I managed to grind my way up to like level 9.5, and I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll make my way to Kerning City. And then I grinded outside of Kerning City to get to level 10. And normally you kind of breeze to level 10, at least through modern versions and adjustments that have been made. And I know that we've had confirmation that they made some adjustments to the XP curve. It's proper, I would say, that you don't get to level 10 without thinking about it. It takes like an hour and a half. You know, for being honest, it's still, like, not that big of a deal. I was just a little surprised to get off of Victoria Island at level 8. Especially considering they made it so that Magician level, class change is at level 10. They don't have the weird disparity where mages have to class change at level 8 anymore. Because that was always a big problem, and something that actually happened to me the very first time I played. Where you kind of hit level 9 or level 10 naturally on your way to Alinea for your class change. So you end up in this weird cat and mouse where you have to avoid damaging enemies. Is the Rogue early game good? I don't remember much from when I played as a kid. Early game Bandit is bad. Bandit got buffed a lot in Classic World, so it's probably fine now. But Assassins are way better in the early game. And they did a thing where they had a thing where you would start out as an assassin and use throwing stars. And then when you got to your job advancement, that's when you would actually transition to using a dagger. Because Assassins, their damage was just absolutely insane for the early levels. And you had range. So you would save on potions by not needing to be in melee range. But they've massively buffed Bandit. Or I should just say daggers, you know what I mean? And nerfed Assassin. So that there is a real choice to be made there. Where you can get, I would say, probably decent damage in exchange for being short range and squishy. But in terms of good leveling, historically, it's always been assassins and warriors, in my opinion, because you get a mobbing skill. Slash Blast that lets you AoE stuff is very good. Right now, the balance from what we've seen has been focused on just buffing the classes that were mathematically always the worst, like Fire Poison Mage. Bandit and Page. But a lot of those buffs, of course, don't really come into effect until second job. But for rogues, Keen Eyes was nerfed, so you don't have as much range as an assassin. If you want to be super long range, you need to be an archer. Disorder got buffed, so it's a percentage rather than a flat rate, so it actually scales properly. And Double Stab has a stronger ratio at the end once it's fully maxed. But I'm almost level 15. And then at level 15, we get the quest for the chat ring. The exclusive online test. Drusif is at level 50. Damn. Oh my god. XX Dark Lord with the 4 and the 0 XX. What a name. What an amazing name. That's a super old school name. My goodness. But I have to keep my wits about me. When the game drops, I'm gonna have to be extremely frugal. That's the other good thing about warriors, is that you have such a strong basic attack. You don't need to spend MP for your damage output. So you kind of save Mesos that way as well. And they buffed Axe Warrior. So that's another big thing. Typically when you went Warrior, it was like Dark Knight and Sword Hero were like the best ones, but playing a Page or using axes was always bad. But they buffed axes, so they apply a dot now. And according to the math, warriors in second job are still pretty weak. Like, the jump in power you get from going to first job to second job is the lowest of all the classes based on the early math that people have been posting about that I've seen. Shout out to Grog the Gamer, who apparently is a warrior main and is like a math major or something. I love axes in this game. They look so sick, in my opinion. It was always nice to use axes because even though they were inefficient, they looked cool and they were cheaper in the marketplace. Christ died. OMG. I'm gonna let somebody else make the "he is risen" joke when he gets back from town. He'll be back in 3 days. I hope they keep blue as a default hair color. Crisis, I have returned. Bandits were always pretty, rare. I've seen a lot of bandits running around. It's like one of the most buffed classes. Which just also goes to show how... What the hell is that? Some sort of magic crystal. Which just goes to show how bad they were in the original version. It wasn't that they were bad, it was that they had to compete with assassins. That's what made them bad. They were just bad by proximity. And also, we don't get flash jump, which is one of the sickest skills in the entire game. Assassins were also more edgy. Yeah, that's true. Because the dagger stuff wasn't like, They eventually released Dual Blade, which was kind of like the edgy twin sword wielding class that was nimble and maybe kind of captured the aesthetic of a melee assassin a little bit more. All right, now we're level 15. But it was just literally like, even if you weren't dexless, Assassin's damage output and efficiency was just so strong. What about the cash shop? Anything out of the ordinary there? The offerings are a little sparse. I'm disappointed to see that they still have gender-locked items in the cash shop, but they've got some old-school bangers here. Some stuff like the puffer jacket top is missing. But they just got a few. They've got the white beanie and the black visor, which I think are like the top two most iconic. They need to have... The upside down visor isn't in here. We don't have the snowboarder overall outfit, which I think was a really iconic one. We only have the white casual suit. We don't have the My Chemical Romance suit. The Crusader shirt is godlike. I'm gonna be wearing this on my warrior for sure. This one I don't remember. The yellow layered combo. This also looks really good. The denim cargos, classic. The ripped jeans, also pretty iconic. Everybody used to run this fit, the white jeans with the casual suit top. They've got the butterfly, the fairy wings as the capes, and then the angel wings. I've got the slime shoes, of course. No gloves in the shop, and then just a few facial accessories. And then the hair coupons. And then some effects around your character that you can get. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Also, I just remembered that I forgot to put my little devil on. But yeah, look, see the white suit top. Everybody's got the white beanie. Everybody's rocking the white beanie in the online test. It's the strongest cosmetic we've ever seen in our lives. Everybody's hanging out over here because Inkwell is in town. You can barely see his character model behind everybody. But Inkwell's online. So I think he's just doing a little Q&A. And he's been giving out like AoE buffs here and there. So I've got 8,000 Mesos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some... Ooh, wait. I should go to Alinea first. I was thinking that I should buy potions and then go to Alinea. Yeah, so here's the event quest. We got to go talk to Arwen the Fairy so we can get our exclusiveness. I'm only going to be streaming for another hour or so, but we should have enough time to do those quests. Hopefully they aren't too convoluted. Oh, 11's here. Shout out to 11 by the way. If you haven't went to their YouTube channel, definitely check that out. Some deep dives into some old school MapleStory maps, and I think they have a video on how to efficiently use Mesos so you don't go broke. We're all going to need that guide. I'm warning you, chat. If you've been playing on Classic World, if you've been playing on MapleStory Worlds, I mean, or any sort of private server, anything like that, you have been spoiled. You are not prepared for the depths of broke you are going to be at all times. Like, I have 7,000 Mesos here. I don't, look at my equipment. I have not even bought my starting regular ass equipment yet. I got this dagger for free. And that's it. And then this green headband from a quest on Maple Island. I've spent the rest of my Mesos on potions. And you are going to be broke until like level 50 something. Like, where's your wooden fence shield? It's too expensive. If I make my way back to Lith Harbor, then I'll pick it up. I want to get a pan lid. All right, we got to go find Arwen the Fairy. Where is she again? Damn, everybody hanging out up here. It's kind of cool, too, that you can set up shops anywhere. It's pretty cool. Ring quest. Go up and take the portal. Alright. Strange familiar wood. Hello there. I was looking for an adventurer who might be able to help me. Alinea has been in stir lately due to a strange energy detected nearby. On top of that, someone recently bought a strange mushroom spore they found at the edge of the forest, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I think we need to take this to Grendel the Really Old. For a more thorough analysis, would you help me? Oh my god, where'd you get that hairstyle? Oh my god. But yeah, I definitely need to get the wooden fence shield. When I was in Lith Harbor, I was flat broke. I couldn't buy anything. I sense extraordinary aura from it. Its vitality is too profound to call it a mere mushroom byproduct. I'll trace its origin using my magic. This is an ancient energy from a very long time ago. Why is a power that should be slumbering in forgotten times being felt so strongly now? It's the power of nostalgia, baby. There's something even more concerning. A dark corruption has deeply penetrated every fiber of this spore. It feels as though someone's trying to break free from somewhere using this ancient power. The fact that these corrupted spores are spreading might be proof that a great evil is awakening once again in the unseen shadows. I believe it would be wise to investigate the area where this spore was found, assuming there's someone brave enough to dare. I'll hold on to this and investigate further to find out exactly what's happening in the forest. So we'll go talk to Arwen again. Oh, that's right. We have down jumping in this version. You're back. What did Grendel the Really Old say? An ancient energy tainted by a dark corruption? So they're kind of teasing maybe a future quest line and stuff. Hey, the classic beginnings label ring. Where is it? Goes into the deco slot. So then it changes my thing. Nice. And then level 15, Beyond the Unknown. You're here just in time. I was looking for you. Do you remember the strange mushroom spore? With the help of the other fairies, we carefully tracked its origin, starting from where it was found. We finally figured it out. With the Alinea Forest in a dreary place where the light barely reaches, there is an entrance leading to a bizarre cave that I've never seen before. I feel like you'd be able to investigate the area near the cave. Yeah. Head to the bottom of the tree tunnel at the forest up north. Oh, God. Tree tunnel at the forest up north. You'll find the bizarre cave entrance. All right. Yeah, down jumping was something that wasn't in old school MapleStory. It was added later on, but it's just considered such a good quality of life feature that they kept it. This is the field up north, so we have to go to the tree tunnel. The tree that grew. We can also check the map, I suppose. The bottom of the tree tunnel. The bottom of the tree tunnel in the forest up north. The tree tunnel at the forest up north. Alright, so this is the forest north of Alinea. So we want to go to the bottom of the tree tunnel. So in here, and then go down. Hell yeah. This is like my favorite old school MapleStory track, by the way. Oh, this is cool. This really, oh my god, that's so nice. Like, somebody set up a shop here to tell people to press up. This is a hidden portal. This must be the bizarre cave entrance Arwen mentioned. There's definitely an ominous energy filling the air. For now, let's gather this glowing mushroom nearby, which seems to be the source of those spores, and take it back to Arwen. Nice. I wonder if this leads to the Forgotten Hollow, the new exclusive area. During the PC Cafe tests, people were finding the entrance through Sleepywood. And I wonder if that's like maybe a back entrance to connect it all together. Because if we look at the... Yeah, look, if we look at the map, right? Forgotten Hollow's right here, in between Alinea. Where's my Dark Souls misleading hints? That's in the top 1% of childhood nostalgia songs. I was thinking to myself that when the Classic World, like, full release drops, that's where we have to head day one, is the Slime Tree. And just have a crazy grinding party in the Slime Tree. Because my experience so far is that all the quests are dog shit, so... Unfortunately, it's going to be the same diff of only doing the quests that are actually worth it and people are going to ignore all the other ones. I hope that's not the case, but I haven't done a quest where it gave me a reward that I was like, ooh, that's a really good quest. Classic beginnings chat ring. Before. After. Nice. And so now we've got a bunch of other quests that we can pick up here. Oh, there's another quest. This is a whole quest line. Let's go talk to Grendel the Really Old. A lot of these too, like the Alinea theme song. Or just the Alinea, like the surrounding area, that song. It's called like Moonlight Shadow or something. Also a really classic track. The One Who Sealed the Darkness. The bizarre cave entrance you investigated for us last time and the energy emanating from it. The fairies of Alinea and I have investigated it more closely since then. And I've become concerned there might be a problem with the World Tree, which forms the very foundation of Victoria Island. To lift this veil of ancient darkness and approach the truth, we need the advice of one who has directly faced the great evil within. You must go find Manji in Parion. He survived crossing swords directly with terrible entities beneath the World Tree a very long time ago. He's most likely to know something about this dark energy. Oh, that's cool. This was also something that the devs hinted at, is by going back for MapleStory Classic World, they're able to expand on a lot of old quest lines and plot threads that they started back in the day, but never really had a chance to fully develop. So if I wanted to go to Parion, yeah, we'll just keep heading. We'll have to walk there. Because we're brokety broke. And they even released a short movie. A little animated short going over Manji's battle with the Balrog King or something like that. And the Gladius sword is like an ancient blade that you have to reawaken. Oh, rip this AFK person. Good luck to that person. Unnecessary sacrifice. That, I know, right? That's a skill issue. You thought you were on a safe spot and a monster spawned next to you and knocked you down. Skill issue. Ooh, that's cool. The little transition texture between Parion and Alinea. I don't like the new sound effect for recovery. Breaking news, Wizette confirms release date. Oh, wow, so Inkwell's really spilling the beans over in Hnesis. It might be a troll, though. Give this time traveler a beer. Yeah, people are just trolling on the pink messages are from an item called a super megaphone, which is basically like MapleStory all chat. It's such an insane... It's an item you have to pay for. And... Yo, Rune, what's up, man? How's the nostalgia? It's awesome. I've got this fireball haircut is still available in the beta. It's super nostalgic for me. Back in the day, they had a quest that gave you a random hairstyle coupon. So you could change your hairstyle randomly, and I happened to get this one back in the day. And so I rocked this alongside the Junior Lioner hat. It was an actually overpowered combo. But I just completed the level 10 and level 15 event quests. That gives you this chat cosmetic. It changes your chat box. And it gives you the special nameplate. And if I'm understanding correctly, these will actually carry over as like an online test exclusive thing. And then this event quest ties into Manji's macro world quest. This game gives me Gunbound vibes, the graphics at least. Maybe you never heard of Gunbound, but that may be a bad comparison. No. Gunbound is actually super godlike. I can't believe that we don't have Gunbound right now. I heard that they were bringing it back a few years ago, but I think it fell through. It was back in the day. If you remember, it was back with like NFTs and stuff where a lot of old IPs were getting bought up by companies and people were trying to flip them for like crypto slop. And I think Gunbound got caught in the crossfire there, where the revival ended up getting canned once people found out that it was just crypto slop. But I was a god at that game. People would call me a cheater because I could calc high angles. I had a friend who was also really cracked, and he would random select. Because what was cool about Gunbound is that there were certain vehicles you could only get if you random selected and were given them, and they were given to you. So I actually saw him play a couple games as like the overpowered dragon vehicle or something. And I'm surprised that we haven't gotten a knockoff at the very least. The one who sealed the darkness. That ominous dark energy clinging to your clothes. Riding on the winds of Parion. It pierces my nose so strongly it's sickening. So what'd you find in that deep forest? Who sent you? No, I think I know without having to explain. It's the exact same scent of blood I smelled in the deep darkness that day. This isn't a past you should go poking around with half-baked curiosity. The grudge of the corrupted ones down there. It's not something someone like you can handle. Leave. I have nothing to say to you. If you bother me any further, my sword will answer in my said next time. God, he's so edgy. So is the opening its eyes once again? The being I pointed my blade at on that day. The video will play if you select yes. Oh, are they going to show the animated short? Hell yeah. Check this out if you haven't seen it before. Cutscenes in my MapleStory?
Now that's a view worth the climb. Manji, isn't it?
What if I am?
The voice acting?
I have no business with you.
Rumor has it that you carry the gladius I once forged for Tristan.
Yo, this is so Newgrounds coded.
You know, it's difficult to atone for a death not
This
of your
looks like
making.
the exact sort of thing somebody would make and put on
If you
Newgrounds back
wish,
in the day,
I
like their
can awaken
MapleStory
the
fan
sword's old
fiction.
strength. Very well. Visit me in Sleepywood when you change your mind.
God, you're so right. Yeah, dude.
After all this time, why turn down a chance to restore the Gladius? No. The sword belongs with its true master.
This is a fan edit that got included in the game, isn't it? I guess you could maybe say that the developers are fan editors, right?
This place has changed. For the worse.
because the Manji questline was supposed to be a much bigger part of the lore of the game, and they just never got around to expanding it the way they wanted to. Oh, Super Mario Bros. Z? The fight choreography was absolutely insane for those movies, 100%. Shout out to Alvin Earthworm. My baby girl.
The Balrog? But we killed it. Tristan killed it.
Oh, did you see there's the Dark Mage was there in the background. A little bit of a lore Easter egg. Yo, this is actually pretty lit. I'd be down to watch an entire 24-episode series animated like this.
Keep moving. Tristan!
Oh, that sounded nasty.
Manji, please. Take my sword. Continue my fight.
Damn.
Tristan. So, you've been biding your time, regaining your strength. But why would the Gladius show me this now? That monk, my journey here, it can't be a coincidence. My path is clear.
Oh, that's pretty cool. To be continued. That's a really good teaser. The quest line leads you to a cutscene and then like just drops you back into the game. I'm saying, the devs have already talked about how they're really excited to revisit a lot of the older lore and older quest lines that they were kind of setting up in the very early days of MapleStory. And they just got kind of overtaken, right, by just development and adding new stuff. Which isn't that bad, right? And what's great is now that there's enough... They've already made a bunch of stuff, so the updates to Classic World will be them re-releasing and reintroducing stuff that they've already made at some point. With slight changes, of course. And it frees up a lot of dev time, you know what I mean, for them to do more original things, which I didn't even consider. I think that people would have been very content for them to just say, yep, it's old school MapleStory and it's official, here you go. But yeah, I'm still sticking by my Forgotten Hollow PQ theory, since we aren't going to have Ludi. Selling grinding services to fill slots, plus heal and bless service. Goodness. I can't believe I had to wait until my 30s so I can finally go back to play the re-release of MMOs from my teens. It's so crazy. And I've had the monkey's paw happen to me before, where you're like, man, if only they would re-release or remaster this game, that would be so awesome. and I've had those completely go down the tubes. You know what I forgot to do? I just realized. I forgot to check potion prices in Alinea to see if they kept it so that mana potions are slightly cheaper in Alinea. It's like a nice little flavor thing. It makes sense that the Magician Town would have cheaper mana potions. But they made it so that blue potions and red potions, the very basic ones, heal for more. Red potions are 100 HP, and blue potions are 200 MP. They're picking us up at 4:30. Noted. We had just enough time to do those quests that I wanted to do to get the exclusive cosmetics. It's a shame we didn't get to do KPQ, but that's because I was a little bit delayed. Remember I told you that the email address that they sent my beta invite to, I didn't have access to right away because I'm an idiot. And then when I actually got logged into it, I didn't see my invite email. And then by the time I saw it, I was like kind of really addicted to Pokemon Champions for a few days there, and so I just kind of never circled back around to Classic World. So, definitely I'm a fake fan. But to be fair, in the lead up, I did all my time playing other versions. You know what I mean? Yes, Gilly. It's probably for the best in a way. You know, like, all the people who have been hard grinding to get to level 50 and stuff, people are still scrolling gear, power leveling, doing all the crazy stuff. People are selling stuff, even though the server's about to wipe. People are still doing the exact same stuff as before. So the motivation is there. You know what I mean? It's early, baby girl. It's early. Is it just playtime? Yeah, I'm gonna check the potion shop to see if the potions are still cheaper here. No, they're still the same price. Blue potions are 240 mesos a piece now. $100 for 50, 250 for 150. Hang on a second. Yeah, so for these to be maximum efficiency, they should be 300 HP. The reason that the higher potions are less recovery per meso is because they save you inventory slots. That's the trade-off of buying, like, the better potions, right? But with red potions being better overall, I don't know, man. And I guess, too, like, if you're taking really big hits, if you get hit for 300, you have to keep mashing red potions 6 times every time you get hit. Scar today is like that. Ratatouille villain. Tasting the food meme. He's back to his youth. Happy times. Oh, yeah, for sure. Because I've been playing MapleStory, like, Worlds servers, like Chrono Story and Maple, what's it called? Chrono Story and... not Maple Land. The other one. And it was cool for a little bit. And then I was playing on the Forbidden version for a few days there, if you remember, where I was doing my challenge to complete every single quest. And that was also very refreshing because of how heavily they reworked the individual classes. It was like playing a brand new game. But seeing the population and the hype, getting the free NX was nice, but I am not looking forward to how broke I'm going to be. Gilly, stop. I'm sorry if you can hear her whining, if my microphone is picking up. Where's the taxi? There it is. They used to have a thing where before your class change, the cab was cheaper. And then once you got to level 10, it would go back to its normal price. And that gave you an easy way to get to your town that you wanted to do to get your class change. But it seems like they might have taken that away. Normally, the regular cab doesn't take you to Sleepywood either. So this is new. I believe the VIP cab would take you to Sleepywood or Deep Ant Tunnel, and you have to be level 25, I believe, to use the VIP cab. But I wanted to go to Kerning. The prices change depending on how far away the town is from you. And it would scale from like 400 to 1,000, I think. It seems to be a bit more normalized now. A little bit laggy here in Kerning because there's so many people here. I'm surprised that Kerning is the new hangout spot. Before it was always Hnesis, but it seems like Kerning is a legit hangout spot now. And this is also a new feature. They added crafting to the game. What level do I need to be to make work gloves? Bro, what? We can't make work gloves anymore? There needs to be a bar where I can search for a specific item. It is a thing that they've done around like level 25, level 30. Your equipment stops appearing in shops and you have to either craft it or get it from monster drops. So I guess they're sort of just expanding that a little bit more. And they do a thing where sometimes they let you make a item and then add additional. Yeah, equipment crafting simulator, these things. You get to add an extra ingredient and it creates a chance to boost the item's stats. It might be under tailoring rather than leatherworking to make work gloves now, I wonder. Wow. Did they just remove work gloves? I wonder. They've got some. Look. That's interesting. Final sale. They had to add some RNG to it, of course. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's only bad if the RNG is locked. Like if the stimulator potions where you could only get them with NX, that's where it becomes an issue. If the stimulator potions are another ingredient you have to craft, then that would be cool, because then there's an economy of the ingredients to make stimulators, and then other people buying the stimulators so they can take their chance at crafting a really good piece of gloves or something. But I was coming into here to look at the equipment. 1200. I have NX on, so some dex, some luck. I feel like buying cosmetics doesn't really... I mean, buying your equipment for your character doesn't really matter until around level 20. Do they have the casts in this shop, or is it the other one? The shovel, this is new. One-handed blunt weapon. I think these are new weapons. Weird. coconut knife, I believe, used to be a strength dagger. They took the strength requirement off of it. Yo, they don't have the cast in here anymore? I remember shovels. I don't remember them being for sale in the shop. Maybe it's weird that I have to become an apprentice before I can even access the menu in the journal. The yellow relaxer. Look, there's like wands. Wands and staffs are in the woodworking. I don't know what Arcforge is. It might be tailoring for Francois in order to craft work gloves. The thing about work gloves, just for those of you who aren't familiar, what makes them so good is that... Hang on, is that character still standing over here so I can click on them? Yeah. What makes work gloves so good... Oh, they don't let me click on them. Oh, I can hover them. You see how they can be equipped by any class, and it's only a level 10 requirement to put them on, and they have 5 enhancement slots, 5 scroll slots. And so it's a really easy way to boost your damage because you use weapon attack glove scrolls. And weapon attack 60% is like +2 weapon attack. Alright, I think Gilly really needs to go potty anyway, so I'm going to end the stream. And I got to get ready to go. I can't wait to brick all my sauna robes to 2% chance scrolls. I wonder if people are probably still going to be doing overall, like I said, the Dexless build. But we'll see. We'll get back at it again once the next Classic World test starts. I don't know if it's going to go straight from the close online test to release, or if it's going to go close online test, open online test release.